What's good, folks? We back. Now, I've been looking at a couple animes and I've seen some absolute peak and I've seen some absolute dog water. I mean, absolute garbage. I couldn't believe that anyone really made this. And I'm gonna go over three of the greatest animes of all time. And I'm gonna be going over some of the worst animes that I've seen so far. Listen, everything not gonna be on here, but I'm gonna go over some of the stuff I did watch. Alright, so for the greatest isekai of all time, you already know the two that's gonna be here. It's gonna be Re:Zero or Jobless Reincarnation. And for me, I gotta say the greatest isekai of all time so far, Jobless Reincarnation. Now listen, this is a little petty because the reason I say Jobless Reincarnation right now is because, you know, I did my little post. I said Rudius was a slightly better written character than Subaru, and then I got called a bot. And I ain't gonna lie, it was funny. I actually love how passionate Re:Zero fans are. But as a way of get back, Jobless Reincarnation, it's at the top. I'm not gonna lie, Jobless Reincarnation, it's one of those isekais that really had me locked in. What really hooked me on the Jobless Reincarnation, it was the emotions. Rudius' past life made him a scared shut-in who really carried his trauma into the new world. And you see it, like, for example, when he's scared to go outside, he's literally terrified of the world because of what he's been through. Watching him face his fears, really start to go outside and gain more confidence. And listen, it's not just him. For example, take Aries. Listen, she starts off as a hothead. Like, just look at her at the beginning of the story. Then just look at her later on. The reason I love the way that her character development went, you get to see the entire journey she went through that kept evolving her as a person. One of the things I also like about Jobless Reincarnation is the pacing. Listen, the pacing, it gives you a moment to breathe. It never rushes a moment in the story, and you actually get to feel like you really there, because the scenes where this man Rudy is going through it, you really see him going through it. Listen, it's not no, alright, I'm sad, alright, I'm happy. They make you sit through it, and you really actually get to see that this man, he went through it for so many days, and then he finally starts to get back to himself. And I think that actually adds to the story a lot. Now let me talk about Re:Zero as one of the greatest I ever seen for a reason. Listen, when you look at Subaru and you look at his journey, like, at first he started off real confident. Like, this man, he was the most confident person you could have ever been. And then over time, after trying so much and failing over and over, you get to see that this man, he starts to lose his confidence and he kind of loses his way, and his trauma, it's a whole lot different than Rudius, because that man Rudius, most of Rudius' trauma, it comes from his past life and how terrible it was. Subaru, it's a bit different. His life wasn't terrible. He kind of just looked down on himself and tried to compare himself. And I feel like the thing that makes Subaru grow is all the failures and things that he go through. And I will say this man Subaru, he doesn't really have that much talent at all. All he got heart, and that's really inspiring. So, you know, the more I talk about it, the more I see why people called me a bot, thinking Rudius is a bit better than Subaru, but I still stand by that. But let me tell you, another thing that I do like about Re:Zero, because when you see Rim and Miss I Suppose, you see their backstory, you see that they slightly changed over time, and I really do like those characters. Now, as for the world building, that world, it feels amazingly big, and he goes through so much stuff that it really keeps you interested the entire time. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't caught up all the way with Re:Zero. Hey, I gotta get to that, but first I gotta get Crunchyroll back in gear. But listen, after seeing the beatings this man go through every single time, after seeing that torture, it's like, it feels like more of a curse than a blessing when you think of it, because he gotta live through it and see what he could do with it. I'm really looking forward to watching more of it, because this story, top tier. Now let's talk about another good one. Now this one, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of didn't want to put it on here just because I'm gonna give you some context. So when I heard of Konosuba, listen, I ain't really watched any isekais before Konosuba, and I heard, like, the way people is talking about it, they was like, this is the greatest thing of all time. This will change your life. This will blow out everything else isekai related out the water. And when I watched it, I'm not gonna lie, Konosuba, it is good, it is entertaining, and it is funny. But when I went to watch it, I had the most highest expectations in the world. I wanted it to be better than anything else that I ever seen. Because the way it was getting hyped, that I saw, it was crazy. And I say it's a great Isekai. Great Isekai. But I feel like the hype that I heard, it kind of diluted it a little bit. But let me tell you something. The journey that this man go through, it's comedic. As the story progresses, you get to meet these characters. They are interesting. And I feel like it's more of a feel-good show than any of these other isekais. But now, let's talk about the bad anime. I mean, the absolute garbage. Well, actually, right now, I want to touch on an anime that I'll put in the worst category, but it's not really bad. Just to kind of get you into what I'm talking about. We talking about I Got Cheat Skills in Another World. Now, I Got Cheat Skills in Another World. It's kind of like the Walmart version of Jobless Reincarnation. Because this guy, he going through it. He's a nice guy. He's a big dude. And he inherits his house from his grandpa. And the basement, it has an entire different universe in there. And basically, kills something. He becomes OP really quickly. Now, usually, when I see a character get OP that quickly, it's like, oh, no. But I Got Cheat Skills in Another World. It actually makes it interesting because even though he has gotten cheat skills and he does look different on the outside, on the inside, this guy, he's still a good guy and people treat him a bit differently. I will say, for how OP they made the character in the beginning, it's still extremely interesting and I was locked into it. I'm not gonna lie, even though I put it on the worst section, this is the best of the worst. Cause now let's talk about something that's absolute dogs. Oh my god, bro. The Master of Ragnarok and Iron Hair Yard. Listen, this anime right here. Alright, so picture this. You get teleported into a different dimension. Well, not even a different dimension. You just get teleported back in time to ancient Rome. And all of a sudden, you the leader of this pack called the Wolf Pack. And basically, you get carried the entire Isekai. Dog shit! Like, it might be the worst thing I ever seen. We thrown into it just like this. Like, we don't know nothing about this guy. We just know he's a leader. And they fighting for him. But they didn't give us no context of what happened, how this man got here, or what's actually going on. The only thing that was somewhat interesting in this story is that he had a phone that connected to a different dimension so that he could talk to his sister in the present time or wherever she is. And this is the best way I could describe this show. We about to take over this other clan. They go, they do it, they form a pack with them, and then they fight this other clan. Then all of a sudden you go into a peace treaty and this shit is boring as hell. Like, I fell asleep watching. I could not force myself to watch anymore. Like, I'm sorry, it might be one of the worst isekais of all. It is one of the worst isekais of all time. Cause listen, sometimes isekai could be so bad that it's actually funny. This one not even funny. This one just straight up boring. But let me talk about something that's also garbage with no stakes, and bro, it's just so OP that it doesn't even matter. My Smartphone in Another World. Now, I might have butchered the name, but dog shit. He got a smartphone that could contact God, and he got every power in the world. So this man basically got a cheat code throughout that entire time of his life. And there's no conflict because he's so overpowered. Like, what's the point of even watching at this point? But I will say, it's almost to the point where it's so bad that it starts to become funny, but it ain't funny after a while. It's just like, all right, okay, we know what's gonna happen. Get on with the show, cause this is another show where I don't see why anybody would watch it. And I heard it got a second season. Listen, I was not watching that long. Hell nah, ain't no way. I really think the only way that people actually watch this is to see how bad it is, cause ain't no way somebody actually spending their time like. Oh my god, I watched it to make this video, but I would never recommend anybody to watch that. It's absolute, like, there ain't nothing good from it, and hey, it's getting a second season, so congratulations. Oh my god, I hope that Ragnarok thing ain't never get a second season. That's just as bad. But those are what I think is the best, most peakest animes of all time, and those are what I think is the worst anime of all time. But I really want to know, what do you think is the best, and what do you think is the worst anime you ever seen? I really want to know, so drop it down in the comments. And also, if you want to see how it would be like to live in Konosuba, check out this video right here. But with that being said, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to, and it's all still lovers. Hit the subscribe and leave a like. Whoa. For I think I'm finally starting to get the outro singing out it done.